All right, it's your boy Mike Miller. We're here watching Friday Night SmackDown Live. AJ Styles, Matt Riddle debuted. You know, exciting things going on all around. But personally, I think it should have been Velveteen Dream instead. You know, and whoop, just like that, Matt Riddle won. So, you know, big push in the future for him. My thing is, speaking of SmackDown Live, what do we have to do as fans to get people to understand that we want The Miz back in the main event picture? How do you literally go from riding the wave of momentum to headlining and coming out victorious in WrestleMania as a heel? Keep in mind, only the second heel in history to win and retain the world title at WrestleMania, the first being Triple H. But he's the second ever heel to do that. And he goes from that to you blink and you miss it. Now he's middling somewhere around the mid-card. And I get he's putting over young talent and all that, and that's great. I get that. And with guys like Velveteen Dream and Matt Riddle and, you know, Gulak and all that becoming the future of the company, I can easily see where, you know, it makes sense to give these guys a push, give them the rub, and, you know, for Miz to put over young talent and everything. That makes sense. But it's like, okay, especially with Bruce Pritchard being kind of like the new boss man, so to speak. Rest in peace, Big Boss Man. You would think that with the way he likes to emphasize the older established talent, you would see him do something more with The Miz than just use Miz TV as an interview spot to cut promos for people who need to be put over with promos and you know, current storylines and whatnot. Because that's really all they're doing with The Miz. And the thing is, you would think whoever they put at the main event level as the main champion, in this case the Universal Champion, would be somebody that they know that they can promote, someone who has the experience and has put in the time that you can say, okay, this person has shown that they are capable of winning on a main event level. We're looking at a guy who's almost broken Jericho's record for Intercontinental Championships, and he is also a former Money in the Bank winner. He is also a former WWE champion. So we know The Miz can go. He can compete on a main event level. The thing is, another reason that I think they need to pull the trigger on him again is, if you think about it, with Miz and Mrs. and his time at Real World, and corny as they may be, yes, I will even go so far as to say his little movies that he does, whether they're straight to DVD or straight to streaming or whatever they are, he has crossover mainstream appeal. People know him. That A-lister stuff that they're talking about, that is not just a you know, like a nickname. That is legit. People know who The Miz is. They know him. And I feel like they are wasting a valuable opportunity at either bringing him back as a top heel, or, I mean, you know, he was in the spotlight for the entire feud with Shane McMahon, I definitely feel like he paid his dues by putting Shane McMahon over, even though he whooped Shane's ass. If we're honest, every time Shane would win by weaseling his way out, and Miz is like putting him over, and he did it repeatedly until Kevin Owens basically put an end to that whole storyline. But I just feel like at this juncture, the Miz is being wasted. His mic skills are definitely up to snuff. Say what you will about his in-ring work. Some people say he sucks. I personally think he is one of the better main event caliber guys in the company as far as what he does in-ring. Yeah, usually, the workhorse of the company, the person who can wrestle the best is typically the Intercontinental Champion. That's why you see guys like Dolph Ziggler put in that position. But guys like The Miz, he may not be the absolute greatest wrestler in the company, but he's a far cry better than most of the people they tend to keep in the main event level. I'm sorry. I think in a legitimate match, Miz would perform circles around Braun Strowman, even if he would lose, because, we're talking about Braun Strowman. The guy's a legitimate giant, and we're not talking about a guy whose wrestling style consists of moves that would understandably drop someone that much bigger than him. So you would have to book it in a believable way. But the point is that someone like The Miz, I could understandably see them deciding to push him back to the main event level. And he should be. The guy is brilliant on the mic. There have been times where I've thought to myself that he needs a new finisher, something a little better than the skull-crushing finale. Because, if we're being honest, it looks a lot like something I've seen Jeff Jarrett do for years. And Jeff Jarrett's, well, he's never been main event caliber in my humble opinion. But The Miz, he's better than that. And when you get someone like Ric Flair, who actually was on television endorsing The Miz and gave him permission to use the figure 4, even if it was just, storyline or whatever, it's still like you get that kind of endorsement, you can't just ignore that. And he's incredible, and I just think that they're wasting a precious opportunity to have someone who has crossover and mainstream appeal representing, because when you're champion, you represent the entire company. This is someone who's going to be in the public eye. You want that to be on Braun Strowman, who, yeah, he's big, but he has the charisma of, well, a plank of wood. He just goes, roar, all the time. Okay, yeah, he's a monster among men. Roar. Yeah, real charismatic. But then you put it on The Miz, he can draw more people's interest to the company. Maybe people who are younger and don't really know wrestling, young kids, there might be a new generation of fans who are drawn to it because they've seen him in movies, and boom. Just like they saw him in movies, they see him on TV, realize, oh wait, he's a bad guy, and then he loses to somebody, and then they get happy. They find a new hero to root for. That is how you build new main event players, new babyface poster boys. And frankly, Roman Reigns just wasn't it. Nothing against Roman. The guy, he's a solid performer, and I wish him the best with everything that's going on with him. But at the end of the day, if you really pay attention to what's going on with him, he's never really had the full backing of the fans. Not the way the next John Cena should. When The Rock and Stone Cold were at their prime, If any of their music was about to hit, the audience would literally erupt. Cena would come out, same thing, audience would erupt. Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, same thing. You get someone like Roman Reigns out there, it's a lot more mixed. It sounds a lot closer to what happened towards the latter half of Cena's career, where people were like, John Cena sucks. You know, it's like, yeah, you're supposed to be the big face, but nobody really likes you. And the thing is, it's not even his fault. Nobody likes to be shoved down somebody's throat like that. Nobody wants that. But I feel like with The Miz, there's the potential of building something here, and they're squandering it. If you have any opinion on wrestling in general, or you agree or disagree with my opinion, please comment, like, and share. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and I will continue to, just kind of post my opinions and share with the world, because, hey, you never know. Somebody might agree with me, somebody might not. Who knows? Hope y'all are staying safe.